What would you do if your boss looked you in the eye and basically told you your job meant nothing? That you could be cut loose at any second? No warning, no respect, no humanity. Well, my coworker didn't just take that insult lying down. He served our manager a slice of poetic justice that still makes me laugh to this day. If you've ever had a boss who disrespected you or treated you like you were disposable, you're going to love this story. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more satisfying revenge stories, and let's dive into this roller coaster of disrespect, betrayal, and the ultimate clapback. I was working on an engineering contract at a big company. You know the type, open-ended, vague timelines, the classic corporate. We'll keep you as long as we need you. On paper it said, expected 12 months, but the fine print basically screamed, we can drop you whenever we feel like it. For people in my field, that wasn't unusual. Contractors lived with that constant uncertainty. But we also knew that if you did good work, you usually stuck around, sometimes even got extended. There was an unspoken trust. You give us stability, we give you loyalty. At least that's what I thought. Our team had about 10 contractors. Every single one of us except for one actual full-time employee. That guy was technically our manager, but honestly, I was running half the show. I was a contractor myself, but somehow I became the middleman between management and my fellow teammates. One ordinary afternoon, I got pulled into something I'll never forget. Out of nowhere, our manager decided to cut 3 of our contractors. No warning, no transition, nothing. And to make things worse, he had me do it. Imagine the pit in my stomach when I had to walk up to people I worked beside every day. Good, hard-working people, and tell them, hey, sorry, this is your last day. Pack up. At 4 p.m. No thank you, no heads up. Just gone. Felt sick. And I wasn't the only one. Another contractor, let's call him Mark, looked just as disturbed. After the meeting, we cornered our manager. We asked, why didn't we give them any notice? Why treat them like trash? And the man smiled. Then he said the line that burned itself into my memory. That's why we hire contractors. So we can cut them loose at a moment's notice whenever we want to. You ever have a moment where someone's words hit you like a punch in the gut? That was it. Here we were, 2 contractors he still depended on, listening to him basically tell us, you don't matter, you're disposable, you're replaceable, and one day you'll walk in here, and I'll kick you out without a second thought. I wanted to argue. My hands clenched. My chest was tight. But Mark, he didn't argue. He just smiled faintly, nodded, and walked away. At the time I thought he was just brushing it off. But inside he was plotting. Mark was no ordinary contractor. He was sharp, maybe the sharpest guy on the team. He had built systems nobody else fully understood. He was, without exaggeration, critical. But when our manager treated him like dirt, something flipped. Mark quietly started interviewing. Didn't complain. Didn't warn anyone. Just worked and planned. Weeks went by. He kept delivering, kept showing up on time, never gave anyone a reason to suspect anything. And then the day came. It was a normal Friday, 5 p.m. The office had that end-of-week hum, everyone packing up, talking about weekend plans. That's when Mark stood up. Calm as ever. He picked up his laptop, his mouse, even his docking station. Walked right over to the manager's desk. He set everything down gently, looked the man dead in the eye and said, "Hey, thanks for everything. This is my last day." The manager blinked, stunned. "Wait, you're leaving? Like now?" Mark just smiled. "Yes, thanks." Then he turned and walked out. No 2 weeks notice. No transition plan. No goodbye party. Just silence and the sound of his footsteps fading away. At the same moment he hit send on a goodbye email. Short, polite, final. The silence in the office that night was heavy. Our manager sat frozen, staring at the empty desk. He realized too late what he'd lost. The projects Mark had been working on. Tough done. Complex. Untouchable by anyone else. And guess what? Mark didn't answer his phone. Didn't reply to emails. didn't so much as blink in the company's direction again. It took us, a whole team of skilled contractors, over a month to untangle the mess. Deadlines slipped, clients grew frustrated, and the manager, he was suddenly a man on fire, scrambling to put out flames everywhere. All because he thought we were disposable. See, here's the irony. If that manager hadn't been so smug, if he'd just shown a shred of respect, Mark would have gladly given a 2-week notice. He would have documented everything, trained us, left with dignity. But the manager wanted to treat people like they were nothing. So he got exactly that. Nothing. No notice. No handoff. Just chaos. And the best part, he couldn't even complain. After all, he was the one who said it. That's why we hire contractors. The look on that man's face when reality hit him was priceless. That fake corporate smile drained away, replaced by panic. He had built his little empire on the idea that people didn't matter. And in one quiet act of rebellion, Mark proved just how wrong he was. It was the perfect revenge. Not loud, not dramatic, just devastatingly effective. You know, there's a lesson in this. When you treat people like they're disposable, don't be surprised when they walk away without looking back. Respect is a two-way street, and once it's gone, so is loyalty. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button, and let us know in the comments. Have you ever seen a boss get exactly what they deserved? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma comes knocking. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's next.